Hi, I'm Jill Doobie, and today I will be presenting my LIS 450 Public Library's final project, called Revamping the Teen Space at the Auburn Public Library. To kick off this presentation, we have a table of contents which includes aspects 1 through 7 of my teen space remodel plan. Starting off with number 1, which is an introduction, number 2, which is the intended audience statement, number 3, which is the community demographics, number 4, which is the library logistics, number 5, which is the collections, programming, and services aspects, number 6, which is the outreach and community engagement aspect, and finally number 7, which is the long-term success and evaluation aspect of the project. Starting off with my introduction, the Auburn Public Library is centered in the heart of Auburn, Massachusetts, and is surrounded by many different businesses, attractions, and other formal buildings that all garner the attention of both the local community of Auburn and other neighboring communities as well. Two of the largest buildings that are all within 1 block distance of the Auburn Public Library are Auburn High School and the Auburn Mall. With that in mind, currently the Auburn Public Library does not have a very good designated teen space for the local 13 to 19-year-old community to spend time in. As well as, right now, the town of Auburn is currently having a growing problem with the local teen community loitering and getting into trouble at local businesses. So much so that it is to the point where local law enforcement has had to get involved many times. The Auburn Public Library, working to remodel their current teen space, might help solve both the library's lack of a teen space problem and the town's current problem when it comes to the local teens' behavior. This can be done by the library providing them with a safe space designated just for them to spend their time, like a newly remodeled teen space, that does not require them to spend their money or allow for them to continue getting into trouble for loitering at other local businesses. Next is my intended audience statement, which reads, "The intended audience for this teen space remodel is local tweens and teenagers between the ages of 13 to 19 years old living in the town of Auburn, Massachusetts. The specific age demographic begins at 13 years old because the children's room at the Auburn Public Library is currently designated for children between the ages of 0 to 12 years old." Next we have the community demographics. Population size. According to the U.S. Census, the population of Auburn, Massachusetts in the year 2020 was 16,889 people, which rose 4.3% since 2010. Race and ethnic composition. In Auburn, Massachusetts, 89.4% of the population is white, 88.1% are non-Hispanic, 5.4% of the population is Hispanic or Latino, 5.3% of the population is 2 or more races, 3.1% of the population is Asian, and 0.9% of the population is Black or African American. Median household income. The median household income of residents living in Auburn, Massachusetts is $101,931, which is roughly 5% higher than the state median. Educational levels. In Auburn, Massachusetts, 93.2% of Auburn residents have graduated high school, along with 42% of Auburn residents have a bachelor's degree. Looking further into the community demographics, according to the U.S. Census, 54% of Auburn, Massachusetts' population is female, and 46% is male. As well as, according to the U.S. Census, the median age in Auburn, Massachusetts is 45.6 years old, and people aged 15 to 29 only make up 13.6% of the town's total population. Continuing to look at the community demographics, when looking closer at the age ranges between 0 to 19 years old in Auburn, Massachusetts, dividing the 10 to 14 year percentage of 31.5% in half gives us 15.75% equally for each demographic group, 0 to 12 years and 13 to 19 years. By calculating this division of data into our other existing age statistics, we discover that our intended audience's age demographic, which is 13 to 19 years old, makes up close to 44% of the total 0 to 19-year-old Auburn town population. while the age demographic of 0 to 12 years makes up around 56% of the total 0 to 19-year-old Auburn town population. Now, with that being said, that calculation is a very rough estimate based off of the limited information I was able to find on the town of Auburn's U.S. Census records. But with that being said, if a library was legitimately going forward with a community demographics survey, they could definitely find more in-depth and more accurate numbers from the U.S. Census records for the town of Auburn from years and years ago to get a more definite and more accurate number. But for the sake of this assignment, this data on the 3 pie charts that you saw about the age demographics shows that a larger percentage of the 0 to 19-year-old Auburn town population is made up of children from the ages of 0 to 12 years old compared to children 13 to 19 years old. And with that fact, we head into the library logistics, which states that laying out the community demographics and analyzing the data shows that the majority of the town population is made up of women between the ages of 30 to 64 years old. And those women may or may not have children or grandchildren who are between the ages of 0 to 12 years old. With this information, it is clear that the Auburn Public Library is serving the majorities of the community by creating such an interactive and immersive children's room that was recently remodeled. While this is a great accomplishment for the library, that leaves a large portion of the community, the 13 to 19-year-olds specifically, without their own space at the library due to the Auburn Public Library's lack of teen space. That is where this remodel project comes into play to change that. Continuing with the library logistics, looking at the library's strengths, the Auburn Public Library is in the center of town, so it is seen as one of the community hubs of the town, along with Auburn's town offices and Auburn High School. The library has a newly remodeled children's room with all new toys and reading material designated for children 0 to 12 years old and their caregivers. The Auburn Public Library provides its patrons with access to a variety of technological devices and a secure Wi-Fi network for them to use on both the library's devices and their own personal devices as well. The library also hosts a multitude of events and programs for its wide range of patrons, especially for children ages 0 to 12 years old. And the library has a wheelchair-accessible entrance and exit ramp, along with automatic front doors. As for the library's weaknesses and areas of improvement, a big one is the lack of a teen space for tweens and teenagers between the ages of 13 to 19 years old. The library also currently has very sporadic hours, ranging between 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. some days, and 9:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. on other days. They close at 6 p.m. on Fridays, as well as being fully closed on Sundays. They are only open from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Another issue is the lack of space for regular library usage. The children's room currently takes up around 1/4 of the library's main floor space, which leaves very limited room for a teen space and other tables and desks for regular patrons to use the library space as well. The Auburn Public Library also has a very limited selection of books. This has only been perpetuated through a very recent, thorough weeding project that the library has been conducting.